because y'all couldn't behave. Because y'all couldn't behave. Now I gotta wear socks in my own home. Anyway, SNK knows their audience. They certainly know their audience, right? Cristiano Ronaldo as a DLC character or base launch character, right? For which one is this? Grow, Mark of the Wolves, not Mark of the Wolves, City of the Wolves, right? Shit like this being put into the game, and people wonder why they call SNK games Mexican Street Fighter. Now, I'm not a soccer fan. I don't like soccer. Don't watch soccer. I've tried to watch some of it. It's not for me, not my thing. But this has to be one of the craziest guest characters to ever be put into a game. And there's no way I'm not going to check it out, right? Especially because I'm already planning to play City of the Wolves anyway. It was certainly, when I went to EVO this year, it was certainly the best game that was there, better than Net Impact, certainly better than Project L. So I'm certainly going to check this game out, and certainly going to check out Cristiano Ronaldo, which is just a crazy DLC character in general. But I hope to God he's some kind of like soccer mix-up character, like he has like a ball and he can hit the ball around with different attacks, and it like has like all kinds of like setups and whatnot. I'd imagine something like kind of like Lucia from Street Fighter, except for like just doubling down on the, just like better with more angles you can hit the ball at, and just with more depth and nuance to him. I'd imagine something like that. That would be really cool. But you know, it'd be a really sick move that I think would work really well for this character. Some kind of counter, right? Some kind of counter. He does like a little animation. If you hit him during it, then he gets hit, right? And then it does like the cinematic like final hit. All of his health drops straight to zero. Does the cinematic final hit? He goes ah, and then he falls down, right? And then it starts playing a cutscene where the ref comes out and he pulls out a red card and he shows it to the guy. And then the enemy player that hit Ronaldo, all of his meter drops to zero. It's all gone. Doesn't matter how much he has. It's just gone entirely. And then Ronaldo gets back up, and then he starts like limping a little bit, right? He starts going, and then all of his health comes straight back to where it was when he got hit, and then the game continues fine, like normal, like nothing happened, right? That needs to be a move. That needs to be a move. Nah, but in all seriousness, this guest character is a game changer. This has to be probably one of the most ambitious guest characters so far in like fighting game history. For me personally, I'm just not a fan of guest characters. I don't like guest characters. I don't think they should be in games whatsoever, right? I don't think they should be in fighting games, with my only exception being something like Street Fighter, right? When they have like Final Fight characters, or rival schools characters, or like SNK, right? There's always some fucking siren around here. Jesus Christ. SNK, right, where they have, you know, King of Fighters and stuff, like characters from Fatal Fury and Art of Fighting and whatnot, right? Those are my only exceptions, right? Characters that are technically supposed to be in the same universe but not from the same game, and are owned by the same, you know, IP, right? Or not IP, but are owned by the same company, right? Final Fight and Rival Schools and Street Fighter, they're all Capcom. So I don't mind them being in, and they're all technically in the same universe, so I don't mind them being in the same game. But I'm just not a fan of the whole like guest character thing, where a lot of them are very lazy, it feels like, and are just there to grab your money. A lot of them are just not good character designs in general, especially like, you know, with Mortal Kombat and shit like that. And I just don't like all these like crossovers and shit. I don't like crossovers in video games anyway. Even if it's something as simple like a skin, like Street Fighter, the Spy X Family and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and shit like that. And you know, I was doing a lot of research for the Overwatch videos I've been making recently, and apparently there's going to be an MHA crossover skins, as well as, what is the other one? Um, Transformers is it, right? There's already Transformer skins in the game, and I just find that corny. I feel like it kind of hurts the integrity of the IP in a little way. And you know, when I boot up a game, when I want to go and play a game, I want to play the characters in that game. God fucking damn it! It's like every 5 seconds. Jesus. But yeah, I feel like you should just be able to enjoy the characters that are in that game, that are in that universe. And if you aren't able to do that, and you're only attracted to the game because, oh, it has Kratos, or it has, you know, fucking the Terminator, or, you know, Omni-Man, or some shit like that, then I don't think you should be playing the game. I don't think you should be attracted to a game just because it has a certain character. But regardless, it makes money, and I'm just not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of all these crossovers, and I'm not a fan of like crossover skins and stuff. And this is what makes me despise stuff like Fortnite, where that's basically the whole game. It's this weird Ready Player One, you know, play whoever you want to be kind of thing. And it's like, no, I want to, like, when I don't like my peas and my porridge to be mixed together, right? I don't like that. I don't like that. When I play one game, I only want the stuff that's in that game. I don't need a whole bunch of other shit intertwined into it and need to see that as well. But regardless, it makes money. It clearly makes money. People are attracted to these games because it has, X and Y and Z guest character, as well as, something like, Mortal Kombat. Guest characters are a very, very big part of their DLC and their seasons and whatnot, with half of their season being filled with guest characters. But I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of when half the roster are characters not even from this universe, characters not even associated with this game, and are just like, oh, whoever. And I don't like that. I feel like it hurts the integrity of the IP that it's from, and it hurts the integrity of the IP that it's going into. And overall, it attracts people who are going to play this game and be invested in this game that otherwise wouldn't, just because they like a certain IP. And I just don't like that. I don't like people who come into a genre or come into a game that actually don't enjoy it and just want to basically LARP and pretend like they enjoy it, and basically just ruin the fan base for everyone because they don't actually enjoy the game and they complain about aspects of the game that they just don't like and whatnot. And I don't like that kind of thing. I don't like that kind of thing, right? Not to mention, it also attracts people from the IP that it's crossing over into to come to the other IP, right? An example of this is Tekken, and I can't stand this, but most people are more familiar with Kazuya from Smash Bros. Than they are from Tekken, right? And then you get Smash Bros. Fans coming into the Tekken space acting like they know shit about Kazuya when they're referring to him as fucking Tekken guy, and then thinking they can go in and do electrics and shit like that. When their game, they have a 3-frame window to do an electric, which is fucking nothing. It is fucking nothing to do a 3-frame window. That's how much time you got for a Link in Street Fighter. And then come over to something like Tekken and think they know what they're talking about and think they know how to play Kazuya because they played him in Smash Brothers. And I can't stand that. I can't stand what guest characters do to the gaming industry as a whole, or crossover events in general. However, Cristiano Ronaldo is certainly a crazy fucking guest character, because it certainly opens the floodgates for more than just fictional characters. For a long time, guest characters have pretty much just been fictional characters, right? It's just been characters from movies and video games and whatnot that are put into these games. But having a real life person basically introduced into this game is absolutely insane, and it's not like something like, and on top of that, it's super weird too, because it's not like a fighter. It's not like someone who, because this is a game about martial arts. This is a martial arts fighting game, but it's not like a fighter. It's not a martial artist. It's a fucking soccer player, which even opens it wider. Because before you had characters like Balrog, characters like Martial Law and Fei Long, who are of course based off, real people, based off Bruce Lee and Mike Tyson and whatnot, and that's what their character is supposed to be. And if they could get the likeness for those characters, then they would have their real names in there. And probably, like in another universe, Capcom actually got the likeness for Bruce Lee, and Fei Long was known as Bruce Lee, right? And he was the guest character for that. Or same thing with like Martial Law or something with Bruce Lee, right? Or for, I guess he's technically a Bison in the Japanese version, or Balrog, we'll just call him Boxer, right? Boxer would be known as, Mike Tyson. However, I feel like those characters have kind of changed and become a bit more of their own, with a bit more of their own personality. They're based off them at this point, but they're not one for one them, right? However, Ronaldo being a guest character, a real life person, and not just a real life person, but also not a fighter either, something completely different, like literally just a fucking soccer player, right? Game changer. But I think it's kind of funny that it comes from a fucking soccer player, especially for this game. They know their audience. SNK knows their audience so goddamn well. They know exactly who they're marketing to. But I think it's just kind of funny to me that it's a soccer player, which I don't want to get political here, but let's be honest, soccer's probably the pussiest sport. I can already hear the boos and the dislikes and the fucking angry soccer fans in my comments, but I'm gonna say it, dude. Come on, it's the best skill that most of these soccer players have is fucking acting, bro. And it's clearly because the game is terrible. Soccer needs a fucking balance patch. It needs an update so goddamn bad. Because, like I said, it's too defense orientated. I didn't watch 2 or 3 hours of fucking soccer to see them score like maybe one fucking goal the whole time. That's absolutely ridiculous. The field is way too goddamn big. The goalie is broken. It needs some kind of fucking balance patch. I don't want to watch that shit, right? And because of that, it's so defense oriented and it's so hard to get a goal. It makes it where it's like any advantage you can, any small advantage you can, making it where, they're flopping and all that kind of stuff and pretending to get hurt so they can get the other players red cards. You know what I mean? And that's ridiculous. So it's created this culture of just like how soccer players just, pretend to be hurt and stuff like that. And it's kind of a joke at this point. But it's merely due because the game's too fucking defense oriented and it's so hard to score a goal. But it's like these guys will like almost like tap or just graze the other player, and then the other guy will just like fucking jump. Just go into like 30 frames of hit stun and go woo into a triple, quadruple backflip straight onto their neck and go oh, and then they'll hold like the wrong leg that they'll hit. They'll like graze their like left leg and they'll hold their right leg. Oh, it's broken, and then that kind of shit. And then they'll get up and then the crowd will cheer that it's like, oh my god, they're so strong. They're gonna play through the fucking soccer match even though their leg is hurt. Wow, so powerful. And it's like, shut up, bro. Shut up, bro. It's like you have like football where these motherfuckers are built like diesel trucks, right? 400 fucking pounds, run at each other at like 30 miles an hour, and then slam into each other, and then get up like nothing happens. And then you got sports like basketball, where all these motherfuckers are like above 6'5", genetic freaks. They are like built like fucking siren heads, and then they're like jumping on top of each other like it's Mario Bros. And it's like, you don't see these guys get hurt or pretend to be hurt nearly as bad as these fucking soccer players who will just like touch a hair on their head and then they'll act like they got a fucking concussion. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of soccer. I've tried watching that sport. I've watched a couple of soccer games. I've seen like, Copa America and stuff on TV, and just like every time I watch it, I'm like, why am I watching this thing? Is there really nothing better to watch? This has to be the dumbest fucking sport in the world. But yeah, as I said, putting a real character as a guest character certainly opens the floodgates for a lot of real people. But in a way, Mortal Kombat has kind of done this, like Peacekeeper. Let's be honest, Peacekeeper is basically just a glorified John Cena update, and you could probably say the same thing about Rambo or Terminator. If John Cena didn't play Peacekeeper, or Arnold Schwarzenegger didn't play Terminator, or what's his name, Pissfester Stallone didn't play Rambo, then you wouldn't get these characters. Let's be honest, no one would care, right? It's because, let's be honest, Peacekeeper's there only because John Cena played him. And it's really just a glorified John Cena update, or a John Cena DLC. But yeah, what's next? Will Smith for Tekken? Give him a 8-frame counter hit launching high back 2 or something like that, right? He just goes, hits you with the bitch slap, and then it counter hit launches. Sure, why not? P. Diddy, right? Sort of like OTG sort of mix-up character, maybe. How about Ezra Miller for Guilty Gear, right? He goes in, he choke slams women, right? Wouldn't be the first character in that game to do that. Ooh, I got a good one. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, right? And in his Ultimate Super, he goes in, he looks at the camera and plugs his energy drink, right? But yeah, seriously, like anyone. How about LeBron James? That could actually work for something like Street Fighter. They're going for that whole hip-hop urban theme, LeBron James could work for Street Fighter. He's always dribbling around a basketball and shit. And then you make his level 3 supers. He just like, it's called You Are My Sunshine, and he just fucking shoots magical, mystical energy at you. And then the screen just goes all white and is engulfed by pale white flames till there's nothing left, and you turn to stardust. Basically, Gil's level 3. And the whole time it's playing You Are My Sunshine. Yeah, that will be on my list. That will be on my list of my of conditions that I will return back to Street Fighter 6. Capcom is going to have to add one of 3 things before I return to Street Fighter 6, and they'll either have to add Urian into the game, LeBron James, or Neutral. Until one of those 3 things are in the game, I will not be returning back to Street Fighter 6. Yeah, you make LeBron James's ult just be like 80%, just flat out. Why not? Why not make him stronger than everyone else? I mean, let's be honest, at this point, Capcom does not care about balancing whatsoever. I mean, if Blanca just gets a fucking plus on block, EX reversal, that auto shimmies, and does way too much fucking damage, then fuck it, why not? Why not just give LeBron James an 80% level 3? Who cares anymore? But anyway, crazy-ass guest character. Certainly, I do want to play Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. That's certainly on my bucket list. Especially just because every other fighting game has been so ass recently, and I did have a lot of fun playing some of the beta out at EVO. I don't have high hopes for Project L. I don't have high hopes for Nen Impact. I don't have high hopes for Street Fighter 6's future or Tekken 8's, but Mark of the Wolves, or City of the Wolves might be fun, right? And I'm certainly going to play it. I'm certainly going to check it out. Wait a week, after it comes out because SNK is infamous for having buggy, unusable games on the first week where the netcode just doesn't work. So I'm probably going to wait a week and then buy it. But yeah, certainly I'm going to try out that game. And if it's not good, it will at least be good for a laugh, which is worth my $60.